Hello, fellow Factorians. Welcome back to my Pyanodons challenge run. During the last episode, I worked on debugging some of the issues that had come up in my base. There were quite a few to tackle, and I also increased the amount of signs that I was producing in the process of addressing some of them. And it worked beautifully. Signs ran just fine during the hands-off period, and to the point that I was just watching the timer roll down for a lot of it and looking at my base to see that, yes, there are some more problems to find and fix, but none of them are mission critical as the base ran beautifully. During this episode, I have three things on my plate that I want to address. First, science is running so beautifully that I actually need to go and add some labs. This is, just like fantastic for me. I'm like, more labs. Great. I can head up to 200 of them. Another thing that I need to do is add more Vrauks. Vrauks are a little bit harder to add, but during the hands-off period, I laid out where I want to put them down. That should make it easier for me to just blueprint shotgun bomb a whole bunch of Vrauks into my existing build and hook it up without too much trouble. But the last thing I need to do is add geothermal power. I got the tech unlocked just a few minutes before hands-off time ended, and it's just pure candy. Like, you get to run around the map, find your geothermal nodes, hook up geothermal power plants, and get free power out of them, essentially. They're pretty cheap. They each give you about 60 megawatts apiece with default mining productivity. There are a few caveats that I'll go through while I'm setting them up. But yeah, they're just a little bit of candy that the Pi devs have put into the tech tree as a reward for finishing and getting through into Pi 1 technology. So without any further ado, I'll jump into the main game and let you watch how I do it. So yeah, first task, add a few more labs. They're really cheap. I just need to go ahead and do them. I'm going to add enough to get up to 200 since I am currently at 176 when I checked. So yeah, just grab a few belts, a few inserters, and I'll go off and do that. Also, I will jump into hands-off on mode, of course. Alright, and that is 200 labs total. Fantastic. While I'm here, I will also, just for the heck of it, speed up automation science a tiny bit, because if I move these undergrounds forward a little bit, I can get just a little bit more native flora into my system, which means that I can get a little bit more automation science. Because really now it's just belt capacity that is the problem. And there we go. That should give me a little bit more than 400 per minute. Well, I was already over 400 per minute, a little bit more than that. As you can see, automation science is kind of backing up because I can't research fast enough and because I don't make enough Pi 1. But that's the next thing I'm going to work on. I need to build out some more Vrauks. So you've seen me do this before. It's pretty straightforward. I'm just going to go grab a whole bunch of materials, which will help me eliminate some of the aluminum that I've been piling up, as well as other materials. So that's actually kind of good. Be back soon. Alright, time to get to work. I've set up the pre-blueprinting so that I have a pretty clear area to work in. I had to deploy some landfill to get that. I think I should have brought more landfill with me, actually. Always forget something. But yeah, should be pretty easy. This one column in the middle I didn't put in, partially because I didn't want to have to dismantle the existing Vrauk deliveries, partially because there's this cliff here, so it's going to be a little bit annoying to work with. But yeah, otherwise, a very simple process, and you've seen it before. Okay, and that should be that. I should have plenty of Vrauks coming in to satisfy my entire base. So next task is to work on the geothermal plants. I'm going to grab materials to do that and then head off to show you how that's done. There's quite a few that I need to set up. I think I have at least 8 that I can easily reach. So yeah, be back after I've started working on that. Was just setting up a caravan to avoid additional jerky because I added more Vrauks and therefore more getting butchered and more meat is spoiling. Anyway, I need to collect some more materials. Hopefully I will remember it because running back to base is going to be a little bit of a pain when you're out in the field setting up geothermal power plants. So yeah, I'm gonna try and remember everything I need. Alright, my handcrafting is not done yet. I had to craft a bunch of engine units for the geothermal power plants, and I probably should have started that early, or added them to my mall maybe. But yeah, they take a while. Unlike pretty much everything else that you need to craft to do setups. It's weird that Pi has some like super fast handcrafting recipes. I guess it's not weird, it's on purpose for sure, because otherwise you would be stuck making a ridiculous mall very early in the game. But at the same time, it means that you depend on handcrafting quickly, and then there's like the one recipe that doesn't handcraft quickly. So I guess I will stop and do a quick fix of one of the problems that I've got. Anyway, gotta go run to find the geothermal power node event, I think it's called. All right, I am almost here. So let's start talking about geothermal power while I try and set these things up and not make mistakes, even though I will be building and talking at the same time. Fortunately, I've got a blueprint, so it makes it a lot easier. Geothermal power. You feed water to a pressure pump. The pressure pump pressurizes the water and puts it into the geothermal plant. The geothermal plant is on top of a geothermal fissure. I got that wrong. It's not a vent. And then that makes a geothermal water, which is very hot. The regenerative heat exchangers exchange that heat with the water and turn it into steam. The 500-degree steam you can use to make really good power. These setups will make 62 megawatts and change even after you deduct for the electricity that they take. And the fact that they take electricity is the first caveat to be aware of. Because they take electricity and they are a power source, you need to be kind of careful about how you use them. Let's see, I think I've set this up correctly, so I'll keep running. If you set up something like electric miners, yeah, I need to put in some power poles, of course, connected to the main grid, because that's what I'm going to be talking about anyway. So I should not be dumb about it. Anyway, if you've got something like electric miners, heating boilers, or geothermal power like this, you need to make sure that unless you're guaranteed never to brown out, and Pyanodons power means you're almost certain to brown out at some point by accident, you need to make sure that you have some way to make that power continue to go even in a brownout situation. And the easiest way is to set up its own little mini power grid to power the thing as a priority. So what I've done is I've set up a pump that feeds steam from the system to a specific steam engine that is only for the geothermal power plant and its pressure pump. And what that'll make sure of is that I never run into a situation where I'm browning out and therefore making less power from the geothermal power plant, and then browning out even more, and then making even less power, and then etc., etc., kind of getting into a death spiral. You can see the pump is right here. It's going to feed off of these tanks. I've set up tanks for this because what I want is for the power to be able to kind of like surge. So since I'm using so much wind power, power goes in and out, and I want to be able to surge the power when wind is low, especially since this particular power is basically free once you set it up, just like wind power, but it operates at the same priority level as other steam sources. So Factorio has kind of like three priority levels for power. The top one, as you probably know, because it's a vanilla thing, is renewables like the wind and solar power. The middle one is things like steam engines, any sort of kind of like active power, and the bottom is accumulators. I'm missing one. Yeah, there we go. All right. And therefore, you kind of like but you want this to have kind of priority. So one way to give it priority is just to add extra steam engines to it. It kind of biases the system toward using this for power versus the raw coal steam boilers that I've already got set up. I'm going to set up an active way to do it, but it's going to be a little bit jank because, of course, I don't have combinators or power switches. Another reason to, let's see, what other caveats to talk about with geothermal power while I run around and do this? Oh, bootstrapping it, right. Besides just the fact that I am looking up, running straight through a bunch of trees, besides the fact that I'm bootstrapping the regenerative heat exchangers that are turning the raw geothermal water into steam by giving it a little bit of treated wood ahead of time. Another thing I'm doing is I have a boiler set up on all of these And what the boiler is there to do is, until this check valve has enough steam in it, and the steam is coming, like I said, from the tanks and being pumped, so it kind of gets priority. Until then, the boiler is going to use some of this treated wood to power the system and get it going. This means that I won't have to actually come back to this if I don't feel like it, although I probably should, just to remove the inserter and save the very tiny UPS cost of one more inserter sitting there and waiting. And one more thing on the circuit network. Let's see. This was annoying. I should have come over here ahead of time and removed these trees. Oh well. Alright, that's another one set up. So yeah, the plan is to supply treated wood with a caravan that's going to wander around and touch all of these nodes in its journey. Let's see, where do I have another one? Oh, there's one over there. I remembered everything. One pipe missing. Oh, because I'm out of pipes. Great. No, I'm not out of pipes. What's going on? Why am I not blueprint shotgunning? That's super weird. Okay, I guess it worked. The tree was in the way, but did not get tagged by the forced construction. Odd. Okay. No big deal. I don't think there's much else to say about the system. The regenerative heat exchangers use up really small amounts of heat power. I think I've mentioned this before, but it's worth repeating. They will use up 65 kilowatts with the geothermal providing kind of like base mining efficiency levels of geothermal water. And this means that the treated wood stacks, each stack provides 1 hour roughly of heat energy for the system. So I can have my caravan be extremely lazy about dropping by and putting more treated wood into the system. So yeah, I plan to just have him wander around here once every 2 hours or so, something ridiculous. And this is one more geothermal power plant setup. So only a couple more left to go, and I think I got all the ones in the north, except for this one. Okay, I will go set up that one. Fortunately, I had to remove a windmill for this, and I've got a few more in my inventory. I kind of want to place all of them because I have just enough to go up to 1,600 windmills, and that sounds like a perfect round number. But for now, geothermal is just a way better power source. So even though I love wind power, I'm going to continue to set up geothermal. And that's one more. I think that's 6 now. So 360 megawatts of virtually free power. And that should be all of the ones that are easily accessible in the north. I think I will just set up one more. There's at least a second one beyond that, but I can save that for the next time. Because there is one more thing I want to do, and that's kind of about using this power efficiently. So, off to set up that last geothermal plant and a little caveat with it. Alright, and that's the last one that I plan on hooking up. Now I just need to connect this wire to my... There's definitely a way to do this where the wire strings between the poles. There we go. I need to hook this wire up to my steam area. I want to measure the steam in the geothermal plants. So I'm going to kind of assume that all of the geothermal plants are going to be similar. Because they just function very similarly. And so therefore I'm going to measure that one that's over there and check how full its steam contents is. If its steam contents is over 50%, I guess that one was really necessary. If its steam contents is over 50%, then I won't run this bank of steam engines. That should save me some raw coal, and also really, more importantly, I guess I would say, is it's going to it's going to improve my UPS, because I've noticed that when I'm running with speed control on, my UPS dips like 10% when this build over here is running. So yeah, that's a pretty noticeable change. So I need to move this water line, because I'm going to shift around those tanks a bit. Let's put it over here. Yeah, I'm going to shift those tanks so that the buffer is all completely part of the upper section. I don't want to buffer any down here, otherwise it would be kind of defeating the purpose. So let's remove tanks. And then I'm going to set up something so that the pump reads the steam that I've just put on that line and only pushes steam into these steam engines if it is absolutely necessary. All right, that takes care of that. Now I need to set up the caravan that is supposed to deliver treated wood to all of these locations. I've got a treated wood depot set up over there, so we'll be in just a moment of picking out all 7 locations I set up. I think there's an 8th that I'm not going to bother with right now. All right, that's all 7 of them, as close to a loop as I could manage. And then I need to set up a wait, because I'm going to have this caravan wait for like 2 hours between runs. As I said, I think earlier, the treated wood will last a really, really long time. I've got him dropping off 10 stacks, so 10 hours worth roughly. Let's have him go to the depot again and wait there. But I've also set up an interrupt. So on this first go around, he will be picking up treated wood every couple of caravans that he has to, every couple of outposts that he has to drop off at. The subsequent one, even though I'm going to have him wait for 2 hours between runs, shouldn't have to come back to drop off to pick up more treated wood. Should be plenty in these 3,000 item buffer that he carries around. So that should be it. I'll label him on at it. I've been labeling the caravans in the hands-off period, but remember to do this one this time. Right. And I'll want to double check that this one is working. And in fact, what I want to do now is double check that everything is working, which probably it isn't. Let's see. I worked on mechanical flora. Sorry, Braux. You don't have enough native flora. Okay. And that's just because I don't have enough mining of native flora. So let's go make some more flora collectors and put those in. And while I'm down there, I also know one thing I want to work on, which is to add some more small parts. Alright, that should help sort that out. Because, yeah, they don't eat very much native flora, but I guess I was close to the limit on how many collectors I had there. Alright, so now I'm going to add a little bit more small parts production because I'm going to be more and more reliant on this iron ore patch to do small parts. Alright, and I notice I've got another problem. I need to add another coal line to this area, so I'm going to work on that. Alright, and that should take care of it. I checked in YAF how much coal I would need precisely to be able to feed 8 lines of iron ore, but either because I'm distributing it badly or because I made a mistake while I was plugging that in, looks like I am short on iron. So that's no problem. I mean, sorry, short on coal. So that's no problem. I will just be plugging in additional supplies, and with the electric miners coming in, that's really easy. Of course, I could also just redo this whole section with electric miners, but that feels like a step too far at the moment. Hopefully this will sort out my issues. Let's see. So that's taken care of. Now I need to work on additional problems, or at least find some to work on. I really do not want to fail this particular session. I know there's a couple of mistakes that I could address down here, but I think the thing that I would most worry about is my latex being supplied? So are all these routes working now? One hopes. Yes. 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 Good. Is my ash and nope. That doesn't look great. I mean, I have enough empty planter box production just from the stone that I'm making here to maintain a pretty high rate, but it's not great if I'm running low on bricks over time. And it looks like I don't have enough pitch. So I will deal with more pitch as well as fill in a little problem with my seaweed that I was told about. You can also grab more ash by adding better inserters here. Looks like I need to go grab some more duralum. So I'll go do that and also get some more DDCs to make tar with, and be right back. Alright, that's the best I can do, and it looks like all of these ash lines are being fully collected now, even stealing a little bit off of here. So that'll help with the ash problem, so let's go deal with a little bit of the pitch problem. Also, since I'm making more latex, I can go and turn on the last of the I1 blocks. So while I'm down here, might as well do that. Alright, this should get that blocking going. Adding another potential 20 pi1 per minute. And I think I've added enough Braux to cover that latex cost by a fair margin. So yeah, I'm going to add the DDCs that I need and Look for other problems. Alright, that should get a little bit more pitch flowing, which should get some more bricks into my system. It is really, really nice to have electric miners and the power to deploy them when I feel like it. So yeah, that feels pretty good. Why is automation science going slower? It's not a problem yet, but it could be evolve into a problem. Is it just that I don't have the bricks here? That is an issue. Alright, I'm going to look for some more issues and be right back. Alright, I found one issue that I need to address, and it's probably the biggest one that you could create when you're adding geothermal power, and that's too much steam. I've got too much steam. I'm not voiding enough steam from the places like coke, the coke voiding that has to be used to make coal gas. So I need to do a couple of things to fix that. First, I'm going to lower the amount that I buffer so that when electricity is running, these steam engines will be using some up. Second, I think I need to set up a way to kind of have this valve reverse itself when I have too much steam again. This will push steam into latex. Right now, latex can only be fed by that large coke build, and yeah, it should be able to use this steam instead. So let's set this up. This should be overflow 75. Okay. I probably need to change a pump over here to make sure that this line is not getting topped up too heavily with steam. Okay, yeah, that's right here. So a couple of top-up configurable valves will take care of that. Now, how are things going? Still at 26k. I can give it a minute to address itself, because I saw something else. I fixed a caravan over here too, just by the by, during accelerated time. It was a quick fix, but caravan should have been set to not wait to empty itself. I messed this up over here when I was changing this build, but it's a really easy fix. And all I'm going to do, see, this used to be voiding native spoiled flora onto this line. Now it needs to void over here, but these belts are full, so instead I need to set it to stop if hand contents hold. If everything, yeah, I want it to flow if everything is 0, so if nothing is being held by that inserter, then it's allowed to go. I think for this one. Okay. Now I can void some spoiled native flora like I was before. So, those are two big issues that I need to address. The others are, I'm worried that I don't have enough ash, although I did change this not too long ago, so ash is probably going to be less of a problem, and all of these are full, so that's good. Then I don't have enough bricks. So to address bricks, I think the only, and just not to keep adding more pitch, I'm going to see if I can add more carbolic. Should be able to, yeah, I should be able to mine a little bit more carbolic, so, since my tar processing is just going brrr and making even more tar processing products. So let's add 2 more lines here. Add 2 more lines here of my weird carbolic or stone mining build. It is such a strange looking mining system, but I love it. I like that it's weird. There are some trade-offs that I'm making to continue to use weird builds just because I like the creativity of it. So don't be too angry if you see something strange that I'm just personally attached to. But yeah. So I need to set up some more voiding of Kerogen, and it looks like I need some more solid separators. I'm gonna go grab a couple, or grab the ability to make one more, and then go back and do that. Be right back. Alright, that is some additional Kerogen and ash voiding. I think I've got this hooked up right. So I better wait until it gets here to double check. But first I will hook up the stone line. Just have to remember that this this latex build, I used to have a valve here to like allow me to brown out because I had too little steam, but latex has to run. Just has to run all the time, otherwise bad news. So I will make sure that it keeps running. Alright, this will put some steam into this line even when most of it is going into latex, and I think that line can still void properly. Yeah, this top one is not really sending through much. I might need to improve this next time, look at and make sure that this makes sense. But for now, it will at least create some new bricks. And now, is this coming through? Please tell me this is going to come through and it'll all be fine. Because I really want to go in hands-off mode, because, yeah, this has been a long episode. And I am starting to get punch drunk over how much building I've done. Just, like, I was like, oh, I'm definitely going to be fine this time because I'm only just going to build a geothermal. Geothermal is no problem. It just barely does anything to the build. And then I just started going nuts. All right, this is hooked up. There is water. There is soot separation. What else? What else? What else do I need to fix? You know what? I think it's time to go in hands-off mode. I feel pretty good about bricks, ash, latex, steam, and those are the major things that I've changed. Just, you know, like everything. Let's adjust my target rates to be 15% under what I'm hoping for, which is 200 and 400. Let's give a little bit more leeway to Pi 1. I want it to be higher, but Pi 1 is bouncy still sometimes. Partially due to the caravans, although I should be building up a buffer of latex. Partially because, you know, like this system in here is a little bit bouncy. Bouncy is the technical term for it, of course. Yeah, so just take that to the bank. Anyway. Yeah, I think you can tell from the quality of my commentary that I should just let you guys go. Thank you so much for joining me. See you next time.